Thanks, guys. I'm here with Austin Poncho. Austin, the lone scorer of the game, but the only one Indiana needed. You're going to the College Cup. How does it feel?
It's an unbelievable feeling. There's no program and fan base and group of seniors and team that deserves it more right now. It's awesome that we can give back to the fans, and it's just a great feeling all around. Great team effort, great win.
Now, you're a senior. This was your last game here at Bill Armstrong Stadium. How are you feeling?
It's amazing. I mean, there's no words to describe it.
Hamilton.
Thanks, Eddie. We're here at the NCAA tournament quarterfinals, and the energy is absolutely electric. Hoosier Army came out in full force tonight, but there's a good amount of blue and gold in the stands as well. Now, the last time these two teams faced off was during the regular season, and it went into overtime. Justin Rennick scored the game winner for the Hoosiers, but there was a little bit of controversy as to whether or not he was offsides. So Notre Dame will almost certainly be looking for revenge here tonight. Now, take that and combine it with the fact that these two teams already have a long-established rivalry, and the fact that tonight is the last game that stands in between either of these two teams and the College Cup. It's going to be an intense environment here in Bloomington tonight. Back to you, Eddie.
Thank you very much.
Sophomore Griffin Dorsey was called up to the U20 national team, and Coach Yeagley will have to look to replace that talent at the top of the pitch. Now, we talked to Coach Yeagley earlier this week about the possibility of rain. He said that rain or shine, the Hoosiers will be ready to play some soccer. So it's looking to be a great night here, even if it does get a little wet. Back to you guys. That's right, Austin. Allie Patberg is a name we've already heard a lot of here today, but her road to getting here hasn't exactly been easy. Her senior year of high school, she committed to Notre Dame to play basketball, but prior to her freshman season, tore her ACL and had to sit out. Her sophomore season, she played sparingly, and at the end of that season, decided to transfer to IU. Then her junior year, she had to sit out once again due to NCAA transfer rules, but she's finally back out on the court, and she is on fire here today. The NCAA tournament often falls on Thanksgiving break, and while many teams send their players home to celebrate the holiday with their families, the Hoosiers have a long-standing tradition of having turkey in the Tudor Room. Thanks, guys. Coach, 0-0 at the half. What does this team need to do to build a little bit of offensive momentum going into the second half?
Well, I think we've caused some problems in the channels, and we've had a couple quick attacks.
Now, a couple of dangerous opportunities for Notre Dame. How do you think the defense has responded?
Well, I mean, they're clearly, trying to get some balls in the box. Any long throw opportunity, they're playing some balls. I mean, we know that. We got to be ready for it and, do our best not to give them, throw-ins deep in our area.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Coach, an impressive 5 goals in the first half. How do you keep up this momentum?
Well, I thought it all started with our defensive pressure and our shape.
I'm here with senior captain Grant Lillard. Grant, you've been on this team for 4 years, but it is going to be your first time going into the round of 8 in this NCAA tournament. How are you feeling?
Amazing. It's an unbelievable feeling. Getting a result like this, taking this one out.
Coach, in the regular season, this team has been pretty confident with a 1-0 lead that not much is going to get past this defensive line. How comfortable do you feel with where the game is standing right now?
Well, if I think we can play like we did the first 20, I feel a lot more comfortable.
Like many other Little 500 riders, Phi Gamma Delta freshman Matt Cooper is a former multi-sport athlete. Unlike many other riders, before he had a chance to win the Little 500, Matt had another fight to win: leukemia.
On my way to Riley, I'm like looking up on my phone, like all the symptoms, and it was like literally like a checklist. Like, yep, have that, have that, have that.
What he had was acute lymphoblastic leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia, and a mutation. Matt spent the rest of his high school junior year in and out of the hospital for 6 months of chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant. Meet SAE senior biker Joe Krahulik.
You're out.
Matt, Joe, and their brothers Mitch and Rob were on the same swim team as kids. And when Joe heard that Matt needed a bone marrow transplant to survive, he wanted to do something about it.
Joe's decision, I would imagine, has a lot to do with his friendship with the Cooper family and realizing that he could help. He could, seeing Matt get better and knowing that he could help.
For cases like Matt Cooper's, it can be difficult to find a match for bone marrow donation.
The fact that bone marrow drives were being run in my name and people like Joe, who was way closer to my brother than he was to me, were still willing to sign up, meant everything. In the end, my donor actually was German and came from Europe. But it's still great to get the word out.
And while Matt and the Krahulik brothers are no longer on the same team, their bond goes way beyond biking.
Two teams, sit back and enjoy. It's going to be a fun one.
In the 31st running of the women's Little 500 race, one rookie stood out among the rest.
I was kind of in shock.
After Riley O'Learis' team placed 4th in the race overall, she had no idea that another award would soon be coming her way. Rookie of the Year.
I had no clue that I was even being nominated for that. And so I sat down and actually found out that I won that night as they tallied them up.
But before the votes could be tallied, Riley had to get on a bike first, something that almost didn't happen.
Surprisingly enough, I actually did not go to the first call-out meeting. I was a little bit too intimidated coming into the house. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And eventually I went to another call-out meeting where the coach was at and got set up on a bike, and I love working out, and so I just went with it.
Since joining the bike team, Riley has served as a motivator for her teammates through both her actions and her words.
In the bike room while we're doing workouts, she will be like, oh, I have 5 more seconds, like, you guys got it, like, you're awesome, and just is so motivating, and like, that's just the epitome of her.
And this year, that motivation is being channeled into even bigger goals for the Alpha Chi Omega bike team.
Hopefully be on the podium this year, no more 4th place, we want to be top 3 for sure. So.
No longer a rookie herself, Riley will be supervising the upcoming Rookie Week as a member of Riders Council. For IU Sports Media, I'm Mary Kate Hamilton. After placing in the top 5 in the men's Little 500 race for the past 5 years, the Sigma Alpha Epsilon bike team faces perhaps its biggest challenge in recent history this spring.
It's been tough.
Sophomore Rob Krahulik is the only experienced rider remaining on the team after SAE graduated 3 seniors last year. He's now tasked with recruiting and rebuilding the team after just 1 year of experience.
I thought I was going to look for the people with talent, the people with potential that I thought could just become absolute beasts on the track if they just listened to what I said. But really, you need to find the people that have the mentality to keep on going when it's hard, when they're tired, when they don't want to do it.
Although Rob is the only rider with race experience, sophomore Will Evans has been training with the team for a year and a half now and feels ready to step up as a leader alongside Rob this season.
I showed up, rode my bike, talked to the guys, worked hard. And I didn't really know everything that went into it and all the preparation, but now it's all come at once.
And Rob and Will have plenty of experience working together. They've been on the same swim team since they were kids.
It started at North Willow Farms neighborhood swimming.
And continued all the way into their senior year, where they served as co-captains for their high school.
He really led by example, and I think that's his biggest leadership quality, and that's what's been so easily translated to this bike team.
Despite the challenges they face this year, SAE still has lofty goals.
I still think we're a top 10 team. Will and we're both strong. We know we can make it to the last lap.
For IU Sports Media, I'm Mary Kate Hamilton.